Hello, my dear little fairies and little young men. How are you? Well, here I am with a story about a tree. And the tree's name is Needle Tree. It was a needle tree. It had spikes and needles. Yeah, it was a very special tree. So once upon a time, in a small town lived an older brother and his younger brother. Older brother's name was James. He was bigger and larger and stronger, while the younger brother was Phillips. He was younger, and the older brother was not very considerate or thoughtful or kind to him. He would always use kind of bully him and kind of snatch his food. If he was eating his favorite food, he would take it and eat it because his appetite was bigger and he thought he had a right over his younger brother. But the younger brother was very sweet. He didn't say much, he didn't complain much. And then this older brother, can you imagine? He would steal his younger brother's dessert, especially his dessert pudding. Yeah, can you imagine? Yum, yum. But it's not fair. It wasn't his share. So now they were living together and he thought it was his right because the younger brother depended on him. Now one day in the winters, it had become very cold and it had snowed. Now it was time to go get some wood. So the older brother James, went to chop woods in the jungle, in the forest. And there, as he chopped, he came across a very big tree. He chopped big branches. So he had a big load of branches and trunks. So he decided, instead of taking that to his place, to his home, he would go to the market and sell it and make a lot of money and buy his favorite pudding. Now he was very fond of eating, I think. So he went all the way carrying that bundle of twigs and branches and the trunks of the trees, and he went and he sold it. And then there was his favorite pudding pie in the bakery. He bought that and slurp, he ate it all by himself. And he did not even buy anything for his brother. So now when he was on his way back home, feeling very satisfied, having the pudding, and as he was walking, just playfully, he started using his axe. Chop, 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 chop. So whatever boughs, that means branches, tehniya, whichever would come his way, he would chop them. Some he picked up, some he threw. So he was just being mean, don't you think so? You hurt trees if you chop them like that and without any use. So what he did was, he kept collecting. Now he was daring home, and then he came across this yellow, golden, shiny, radiant tree. He had never seen such a golden, yellow colored, radiant tree before. So he said, I'm going to chop it, and it'll look so beautiful also. And I can get more money if I sell it, or maybe I can get more heat if I take it home. So he was about to chop. But, the tree started talking. He was shocked. A tree talking? He was flabbergasted. He stepped back, and then the tree said, young man, if you do not cut my branches, I will give you golden apples. Oh, is that so? He got over his shock, though he was stunned, but then he was a greedy boy, wasn't he? He said, okay, let's strike a deal. You give me your apples and I will not chop you. So the tree suddenly dropped 4 or 5 of golden apples. They were made out of gold, can you imagine? So they were not only looking golden, but James was not happy. He wanted more. Oh, just few apples. What will I get? They won't last much. So he said, I'm going to chop you. It wasn't a fair deal. And as he was about to chop, guess what? lot of needles started showering like rain on top of James, and he had those needles coming from the needle tree, the golden needle tree, all over his body, and he fell down, and he was hurting, and he was crying. Oh my God, ow! He was crying and crying, but there was nobody to help him. And though the needle tree was not happy doing this to him, but he was going to kill her. So now back home, little Phillips had been waiting for his brother to get the wood, and now it was sunset. He started worrying about him, and it started getting dark. He realized maybe his brother had fallen in a ditch, or he was in trouble. He started worrying for his brother. He was a caring brother, and he locked a house and started walking towards the path where his brother had gone, right? And he kept on walking, but and then suddenly he heard some agonizing, crying, moaning voices. Somebody was crying like that. He realized it was James' voice, so he ran in that direction. There he saw his brother all bundled up, fallen on the ground and crouched, and he couldn't even move. So he went near and he noticed there were big spiky needles like skewer sticks stuck all over him. So he sat down, and with love and patience he started pulling out each needle, and slowly took a long time because there were lots of needles. And once they were all out, he felt so relieved. Oh, thank goodness you're safe, said Phillips. And James he realized he was so guilty. He had been so bad to his brother. He hugged Phillips and he said, "You've saved my life today. My brother, I'll never." And the great realization came to him that his brother had saved him, otherwise he would have died. And I will never be mean to you. I'll share everything to you, and I'll take special care of you. I have been very mean, I have been very rude, and I have been selfish. And you have been brave and kind and patient and caring. From the bottom of my heart, I promise you I'll look after you. You're like my little son, little brother. Now the tree was listening to this. And the tree realized that वो तो वाकई दिल से माफ़ी मांग रहा था बड़ा भाई, and he was going to change with his brother and his attitude towards nature, trees, plants, people. So suddenly lots of golden apples started dropping from the tree. Oh my God, both the brothers were surrounded by golden apples, and the tree, "That's your reward for kindness. Now don't be mean to yourself, your brother, or anyone. I promise you, James promised." And he learned his lesson. Yes, if you are bigger or you're stronger, that doesn't mean you bully others. No. And see, what goes around comes around, and just those kind words, won him over so many golden apples, and they could live happily ever after by selling those golden apples. And they did. Bye-bye. Thank you.